Every once in a while, you get an idea. Not just any idea, but one that's so outlandish, so completely absurd, that you can't help but laugh at yourself for even considering it. It's the kind of idea that pops into your head when you least expect it. Maybe when you're zoning out, or in my case, when you're deep into a gaming session, chasing that next win. There I was, playing PUBG Mobile, racking up chicken dinners like it was just another day at the office. My fingers danced across the screen, my reflexes sharp, my strategies flawless. Victory after victory, the thrill started to fade. It was almost too easy. I realized I needed something more, a real challenge, something to shake things up and make my heart race again. So I did what any bored gamer would do. I started scrolling through the weapons. Assault rifles? Been there, done that. Sniper rifles? Yawn. Grenades? Predictable. Crossbows? Fun, but not wild enough. I was searching for something different, something that would make the game feel brand new. And then my eyes landed on it. The humble frying pan, sitting there in my inventory, almost mocking me with its simplicity. But in PUBG Mobile, the frying pan isn't just a kitchen utensil, it's a legend. The king of the battlefield, the one item that can turn the tide of a fight with a single satisfying swing. This thing stops bullets like a superhero's shield. It makes that iconic, hilarious sound when you bonk someone. It's the stuff of memes, of highlight reels, of gaming folklore. There's something almost magical about it, a weapon that's both a joke and a badge of honor. That's when the idea hit me, like a bolt of lightning, or maybe like a pan to the head. What if I tried to win a match using only the frying pan, the pan-only challenge? No guns, no grenades, no crossbows, just me, my wits, and a piece of cast-iron cookware. I'd have to give up all the firepower, all the range, all the explosive chaos. No more hiding behind sniper scopes or lobbing grenades from a safe distance. Just up close, personal, and absolutely ridiculous combat. It would be just me and a frying pan, facing off against 99 other players armed to the teeth. The odds? Not in my favor. The risk? Off the charts. But the potential for glory? Unmatched. The goal was simple, but insane. Win a chicken dinner using only the pan. No backup plans, no second chances. Just pure, unfiltered chaos and a whole lot of luck. When I told my squad about my plan, they looked at me like I'd lost my mind. "You're throwing the game," they said. "There's no way you'll survive, let alone win." But deep down, I knew this was exactly the kind of madness I needed. The call of the pan was too strong to ignore. It was more than just a weapon, it was a statement. A declaration that sometimes the most ridiculous ideas are the ones worth chasing. This wasn't just about winning anymore. It was about glory, about honor, about proving to myself, and maybe to everyone else, that you don't need the biggest gun to make the biggest impact. It was about the pure joy of bonking someone with a frying pan and hearing that unmistakable clang echo across the battlefield. It was about turning the most unlikely weapon into a symbol of victory. So I readied up. I picked my best pan skin, because if I was going to go down, I was going to do it in style. I accepted my fate, knowing full well that this could end in disaster or in the most epic win of my gaming life. In that moment, I was no longer just a soldier. I was a chef, an angry chef, dropped onto the wild island of Erangel with 99 other hungry players. My mission? To serve up justice, one sizzling pan hit at a time. My kitchen, the entire map of Erangel, my only ingredient, justice, served cold with a side of chaos, and always delivered with a loud, satisfying. The challenge was set, the pan was waiting for me, gleaming with promise and danger. I could almost hear it calling my name, daring me to pick it up and make history. With a deep breath and a wild grin, I was ready to dive headfirst into the most ridiculous, most unforgettable adventure of my entire PUBG Mobile career. Let the madness begin. If you're going to do something stupid, go all the way. There's no glory in half measures, and no stories worth telling about playing it safe. In the world of PUBG Mobile, there's one place that separates the bold from the cautious: Pochinki. It's the beating heart of the map, a place where legends are made or broken in the blink of an eye. No hiding in quiet corners, no crouching behind doors, waiting for footsteps to fade. If you want to test your mettle, you have to step into the fire, not away from it. This isn't a game for the faint of heart, and today I was determined to prove I had what it takes. For a pan-only challenge, I had to land in Pochinki, the meat grinder. It's the city where every rooftop hides a sniper. Every window could be your last, and every alley echoes with the sound of gunfire. But that's exactly why I chose it. If you're going to swing a frying pan, swing it where it matters most. As the plane flew over, my squad begged me to reconsider. "Are you crazy? they shouted over the comms. You'll never make it out alive. But I was already out the door, plummeting toward the chaos below, adrenaline surging through my veins. There was no turning back now. I parachuted into chaos. Gunfire erupted before I even landed. The city was alive with the crackle of bullets and the distant thud of grenades. Every rooftop was crawling with enemies, every street a gauntlet. My heart pounded as I hit the ground, knowing that every second counted. I sprinted into a house, ignoring all the tempting loot. Rifles, helmets, first aid kits. Assault rifles and med kits littered the floor, but I ran past them, laser-focused on my mission. The temptation to grab a gun was real, but I was committed. This was about pride, not firepower. I was on a mission. I searched every room, every corner, my senses on high alert. Every creak of the floorboards, every shadow in the hallway could mean danger. But I pressed on, determined to find my weapon of choice. And then, there it was, the frying pan, shining like a holy relic in the kitchen. It was almost comical, the way it sat there, waiting for me. In a world full of guns and grenades, this humble piece of cookware was my Excalibur. I picked it up. I was armed. Well, sort of. The pan felt heavy in my hands, a ridiculous but oddly comforting shield against the chaos outside. I knew I'd have to get up close and personal if I wanted to survive. Outside, the battle raged. I was in the heart of the storm with nothing but cookware. Explosions rattled the windows and gunfire stitched the air. But I was ready. This was the moment I'd been waiting for. A sane person would be terrified. I just gripped my pan and smiled. Sometimes you have to embrace the madness to find out what the game was on. Now, I just had to survive the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes in which you keep nothing but a frying pan. Most would call it impossible. But for me, it was the ultimate test. The clock was ticking, and every second was a victory. This was what I came for. With only a frying pan, the world looks different. Suddenly, every step feels heavier, every shadow deeper. You're not just a player anymore, you're prey, and the battleground is a jungle. The frying pan isn't just a weapon, it's a statement, a challenge to fate itself. You start to see the map in a new way, not as a place to conquer, but as a maze to survive. Every open field is a death trap. The grass offers little cover, and the wind seems to carry your every movement to distant enemies. Crossing these spaces becomes a test of nerve and timing, a gamble with your life as the stakes. Every window, a sniper's nest. You learn to spot the glint of a scope, the flicker of movement behind shattered glass. Each building is a fortress, and you're always on the outside, looking in, wondering if someone's already watching you. I became a ghost, hiding in shadows, moving from cover to cover. My footsteps were whispers, my breath held tight. I hugged walls, ducked behind crates, and melted into the darkness whenever danger crept too close. I crouched behind a sofa, listening to chaos outside. The muffled thud of grenades, the staccato bursts of gunfire, and the hurried footsteps of other players filled the air. My heart pounded in my chest, louder than any explosion. Players fought all around me, but no one checked behind the sofa. It was as if I was invisible, a shadow in the corner of their eyes. I could almost feel the tension in the room, the desperation of everyone clinging to survival. I waited, patient, letting the gunfire thin out the competition. Every shot meant one less threat. I counted the seconds between bursts, waiting for the moment when silence would return, and I could move again. When things quieted, I crept out, sticking to walls and bushes. Every movement was calculated, every pause deliberate. I became a shadow, blending with the landscape, always searching for the next safe spot. The pan on my back even saved me once. A bullet pinged off it, a sign from the pan gods. In that moment, I realized the absurdity and the beauty of my quest. The pan wasn't just a last resort, it was my shield, my lucky charm, and my silent partner in this dance of survival. I hid in bathrooms, closets, even a bathtub. Each hiding place felt like a sanctuary, a brief respite from the chaos outside. I learned to appreciate the quiet, to savor the moments when the world seemed to forget I existed. At one point, a player ran right past me, never checking the tub. My heart stopped as their footsteps echoed in the tiled room, but they moved on, oblivious to the danger lurking just a few feet away. This was the life of a pan-only player. Fear, patience, and absurd hiding places. Every corner was a potential ambush, every shadow a possible escape. I became a master of stealth, a student of silence, and a believer in the power of the pan. But it was working. The player count was dropping. The dream was alive. With every passing minute, hope grew stronger. Maybe, just maybe, the pan would be enough to see me through to the end. You can't hide forever. Eventually you have to fight. My first encounter, I snuck up on a player looting a shed. I swung and missed, on the wall. He spun around, shotgun in hand. We froze. He fired and missed. I swung again. My first pan kill. I felt like a champion. Later, I hid in a bush as a whole squad ran past, oblivious to the pan-wielding maniac inches away. My hands were sweating. If they'd looked, I was done. The funniest moment? I watched another melee-only player chase someone with a crowbar. It was chaos. I didn't get involved. Sometimes you just have to enjoy the show. These absurd moments made the challenge unforgettable. The mid-game is tense. The chaos of the drop is over, but the final circles haven't begun. For me, it was pure terror. I was forced into the open by the blue zone. My only armor a pan and a level 2 helmet. My strategy: run from the blue, hide from people. I zigzagged across fields, dove into bushes and hid in shacks. Once a car drove right past me. Maybe they thought I was a bot. I was grateful. The circle shrank. I found a shack on the edge of the safe zone, my castle. From the window, I watched the final battles begin. I'd made it to the top 20 with nothing but stealth and a dream. Maybe, just maybe, this crazy idea could work. Final 10 players. The circle was tiny, centered on a hill with barely any cover. Everyone was armed to the teeth. I had my pan. My shack was out of the zone. I had to cross an open field. I used a smoke grenade for cover, my one exception to the pan-only rule. Bullets whizzed past as I sprinted to a rock in the final circle. From there, I watched the chaos duels, snipers, players prone in the grass. The sniper on the hill was the final boss, picking off everyone. The circle shrank again. It was just me, the sniper, and one other. The sniper took out the other player. Two left, me and him. My heart pounded. This was it, the final showdown. I was pinned behind my rock. The sniper had every advantage. The blue zone was closing in. I had one smoke grenade left. My plan: throw the smoke, charge him, and hope for the best. I waited for the perfect moment, then tossed the smoke and ran. My health ticked down, but I ignored it. I burst through the smoke. The sniper was startled, fumbling to switch weapons. He didn't expect a pan-wielding maniac in his face. For a split second, we locked eyes. Chaos. His face screamed terror. Mine screamed bonk. The final battle was on. Time slowed. It was just me, my pan, and the terrified sniper. He tried to aim, but I was too close. I raised the pan high, sunlight glinting off the metal. This was for every failed challenge, every early elimination. The sniper fired wildly, missing everything. My arm came down in a perfect arc, the most satisfying sound in gaming. The sniper dropped instantly. Then the words, "Winner, winner, chicken dinner." I had done it. Pan only. Victory. I stood on the hill, pan in hand, a legend. The pan was no longer just cookware, it was a trophy, proof that a dumb idea can become an epic story. So there you have it, the pan-only saga. It proves you don't need the best guns to win. Sometimes you just need a pan and a dream. This was the most fun I've had in PUBG Mobile. Now I want more challenges, more absurdity. But I need your help. What should I try next? Crossbow only? Pistol only? Vehicle only mayhem? Let me know in the comments. The crazier, the better. You decide my fate. Thanks for joining me on this fantastic adventure. Floor gang out. Ahoo!